John Barnes, thanks for welcoming us to Canning Downs today. It must be something that the family's very proud of.
Oh, extremely proud of. It's a millstone in some ways, but to be lucky enough to live in one place for, what is it now, 103 years is it's an extreme privilege and just a magic thing. My great-grandfather and my grandfather and my father, all bred and raced horses, and I think it's just a deformed gene that you have. You just, I thought I probably wouldn't do that, but it's a tradition that's very, very important.
Your father, Seb Barnes, a colossal name in Queensland racing. What memories do you have of him?
Oh, he was a very Victorian gentleman, so fairly stern for a young boy, and but very, very fair, and absolutely loved his horses. They just meant as much to him as human beings, and he was lucky enough to be a federal minister at the time that he had tails, and he felt that was the greatest political unifying factor that you could ever have.
He brought the Melbourne Cup winner Del Rey here, and Del Rey produced Tails. Tails became sort of part of the family, did he?
Yes, he certainly did. I always wondered why he kept Tails back from a sale, and there's lots of views. But just before he died, which was in 1998, I asked him, well, how did you pick Tails out? Can you really tell an extremely good horse? And I thought he hadn't heard me, and I repeated the question. He said, no, I'm thinking about it. He said, no, I can't, but there was something about that horse that I knew was going to be good.
So he'd be proud that you've been able to continue the family tradition and you're selling horses again at Magic Millions this year?
Yes, I think he would. I mean, you always hope that your family will go on and do that, and that's a large reason of why we do it.
John's father ran it and pretty much ran it himself, and he was very hands-on, and he would have also enjoyed some wonderful racing, racing Tails and Bashful Eka and horses like that, and but he had to let the numbers sort of dwindle down. So we made the decision we'd either sort of do it and try to do it as well as we can, and that's meant keeping numbers fairly small, under 15 to 20 absolute maximum. But the last 10 years we've sort of sat around that sort of 15 sort of level.
Tony Cooper, manager here at Canning Downs. We're with a pretty special piece of horseflesh here, a Kementari filly behind us, one of only 6 Kementari yearlings. How's she doing?
Oh, great. She's just gone through the prep. Unbelievable. We're so happy with her. She's got a lovely nature. She's got a lovely walk. Her action's great. Just everything that's sort of come her way, she's just taken it all in a stride.
I imagine she's a special girl here on the farm.
Oh, she's probably been everyone's favourite from the day she was born, I'd say. Just adding the Kementari factor in there just makes it that much more special, I suppose.
We spoke about the Kementari filly, but we see the Autumn Sun filly in the background as well there.
Yep, no, we've got a lovely Autumn Sun filly out of Vibrant Rouge, so we just can't be happier. We've got 6 in first session, 1 in second session, and we've got a really good draft this year.
I can't remember the last time we took a nicer draft.
Let's talk about this Kementari filly. I think 2019, pretty straightforward decision to go to a horse like Kementari, had such a great track record. Was there any inkling at the time when you sent your mare there that there were any issues with him?
Not at all, not at all. And to be fair, if there had been, Dahlia always pretty front up, but we're one of the very lucky ones.
Yeah.
For a very short time we thought, what have we done here? How are we going to be able to sell the Kementari? But I think she'll sell herself.
It's like a needle in a haystack, I suppose. Now,
yeah, absolutely. And it's a good-looking needle.
Yeah. So, any part of you wants to maybe keep her?
Oh, there's always a part of any good-looking filly like that. If you could go to the same sale and try and find another filly, and I'd be surprised if you'd find one as nice.
Property's almost 180 years old now. Will it still be here another 180?
Yes, it will be, won't it? It will be. And I hope these buildings would be. I mean, as you say, that building behind me is 1840. It's the oldest homestead, oldest house in Queensland. And just behind you, it's an 1846 part of the homestead. So it's pretty nice. It doesn't mean as much when you're at Newmarket telling this to an English person, but they think of that as yesterday. But it's the oldest for Queensland.
And you're always mindful of the long, rich history this place has?
Absolutely, it's and we've still got one mare that's can trace back for the pretty much the whole of the 3 generations of the Barnesby, which is probably not the most commercial thing to do, but still very satisfying.